Hello, my name is Charina Peña, and today I'm going to be answering the questions from the Talk It Over number 8. Here we have the questions. The first one says, is there a river near your home or school? If so, describe it. Years ago, there was a river near my home, but because of pollution, it disappeared. But I remember that it was a very big river and it had a lot of water, and kids used to go there to swim, and it was a very good river. The next question says, what will happen if factories could not use chemicals? Well, the first thing that will can happen is that pollution is going to be removed. We're not going to see pollute rivers, or we are not going to see a pollute earth. And another thing that could happen is that we use chemicals. There are some chemicals that are used to conserve food, so food cannot be conserved, and in that way, um, supermarkets won't be able to sell those canned food because they're not going to be conservators. The next question says, what do you think we can do about the rivers? And the first thing that we can do is obviously clean them, try to clean it, because we can do it. Nowadays are a lot of machines for a lot of things. So those machines, we can use them in order to clean the rivers. And the next thing that we could do is plant trees near the rivers in order to help them try to go back to the way that they used to be. And finally, I think that it could be good to educate people in order to make them realize what important rivers are, and we really need them. And in that way, they are going to think it twice before throwing trash into the river. Uh, the next question says, why can we drink sea water, and what happens when oil gets into the sea? The reason why we can't drink seawater is because of salt. It's very salty, and they haven't found yet a way to clean the water in order to take out all that salt. And that's the problem. That's the reason why we cannot drink seawater. And what happens when oil gets into the sea? I have seen photos, and what I could see is that when oil gets into the sea, it came up like it cannot dissolve with the water. So that's why there are black things in the water because of the oil, because the oil cannot be dissolved into the water. And the last question says, if there was only a little clean water, who should have it first? Farmers, families, factories, fish? Give your reasons. Well, I think that families need water the most, at least clean in order to them to can drink water, because farmers are going to use it to produce food, uh, but just to produce food. Factories are going to use it to produce things too. And fish, well, the question doesn't specify what kind of water is the clean one, but I think that if we're talking about sweet water, fish are not going to need it. So I think that families are the ones that need it, because if we don't have water, at least no clean water to drink, we are going to have a we're going to have problems like maladies, and people are going to start to get sick and they are going to die. So that's why I think that families are the one that needs the water. Well, that's all for my part. Those are the questions. And thank you so much for your attention about my answers.